I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team, and at the 9 o'clock hour, our temperatures are below freezing. It has been a really cold day out there today. In fact, we didn't even make it up into the 40s today. Our high was in the upper 30s, and it is going to be another cold night out there tonight. It's already cold now during the evening hours, but it's going to be getting colder during the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning for yet another frigid start. We're going to see the coldest air out there really between 3 in the morning until about 8 in the morning. That's where we're going to be seeing a lot of those 20s around that we're going to be waking up to. In fact, we're going to be in the low to mid 20s to start here early tomorrow morning. In the city, it'll probably be around 24 degrees, but in the outlying areas, more of those lower 20s around. We still have some breezes around, but it's not as windy as it was earlier today. And so, yeah, we're going to have some sort of a wind chill, most likely making it feel like it's in the teens. But again, that wind is not as brutal. But still, dress in layers. Have a coat, a hat, a scarf, gloves, whatever you need to stay warm out there, because you're going to be needing it here going into the what's left of the evening hours and then overnight and early in the morning as well. Then there's something else we're watching as we go through the weekend. The cold air is in place. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to warm up into the 50s. Then we're going to see another reinforcing surge of colder air moving in here. And as we go into Saturday morning, we're actually watching through the weekend 2 opportunities for some moisture to move in, and a couple of those could mix in with snow in different parts of the state. The first thing we're watching is Saturday morning. We're going to see some rain pushing through the metro area, general showers here. But in far north Georgia, there's the potential to see a few flurries just in those highest elevations of North Georgia. Then going into Sunday, there's another system that's developing, but that one is developing to the south of us. And as it pushes moisture northward, that's actually going to move into an area that already is going to have some cold air in place, and there'll be a chance of snow on Sunday morning too. But it's not in an area that you would normally think. The chances are going to be higher in central Georgia and south Georgia to see some snow compared to North Georgia, because we don't think that moisture is even going to make it here to give us any type of a snow chance. It'll be cold enough for that, but at this point, we don't think that that moisture is going to be moving in. So I'm going to break down all of this for you coming up over the next few minutes as we do this extended weather update. We'll take a look at all the models and the timing and everything involved with that too. Out there right now, though, no rain around. We don't have any clouds. It is clear. Nothing's going on right now at all over North Georgia or in metro Atlanta. And even as we look up into parts of North Georgia, remember last night we were watching some of those areas in the higher elevations that actually had a little bit of snow there. We're not seeing any of that out there for tonight. And as we wind down a little bit more, nothing major is moving our way. Here's a live view right now at our tower cam indicator looking back toward the city of Atlanta. I know it's kind of dark there, but it's cool to see the city skyline, the beautiful skyline that we have there with it, but it is clear and it is very cold right now. Here's a look at Northside Hospital. I want to show you this because we were showing this camera earlier and the flag was really blowing hard there. It's still blowing, we still have a breeze, but it's just not as strong of a breeze as we had earlier today. So those winds are somewhat settling down just a little bit, but still enough of a wind to make it feel even colder than the actual temperature. And then here is our shot that we have at from Arizona Avenue, high up on our tower, looking westward back toward the city of Atlanta. And again, we've got that beautiful skyline out there right now, and things are looking great. Looking good, but not feeling good with all that cold air in place. Now, you can see here how the winds have settled down. Not only did I show you the flag there, not showing as much wind, but you can see it here on our wind speeds too. In Atlanta, we've got a wind, these are sustained winds, a wind of about 6 miles an hour, 5 mile an hour winds in Duluth, 3 mile an hour winds in Marietta, and clocking in with calm winds in Covington, LaGrange, Carrollton, Rome, Dalton, Blairsville. The winds are calming down a little bit more. So yes, still a little bit of a wind chill, but just not as much as we had earlier. And speaking of earlier, look at the observed peak wind gust that we had earlier today. 43 mile an hour wind gust earlier here in Atlanta. and that was coming out of the northwest. In the outlying area, still some of those strong wind gusts that we had, a 31-mile-an-hour wind gust in parts of Peachtree City, 32-mile-an-hour wind gust in Covington. Athens had a 29-mile-an-hour wind gust, a couple of other, 32-mile-an-hour wind gust in Marietta and also into Canton. So it was a breezy day, and of course that wind made it feel a lot cooler out there too. All right, you ready to see the temperatures? You can look at the blue color here and just see that looks cold. Well, let's overlay those temperatures on here right now. And as I mentioned, we're below freezing at this hour in Atlanta. We're 30 degrees. And outside the city, more of these even 20s around. You can see Carrollton, Marietta, Canton, Gainesville, really pretty much everybody is in the 20s except for those 30s that we have here. 31 in Peachtree City, 32 in Thomaston and Eatonton, and then Rome coming in at 30. And then how about 19 right now in Blairsville? That's not the wind chill, that is the actual temperature. Now, with that little bit of a wind that we have, it is bringing down those temperatures, those feels like temperatures down a little bit. The wind chill feeling like 24 here. So the wind chill is, or actually the temperature is 30, but it feels like 24 here. It feels like 20 in Athens. It feels like the teens in Canton, Gainesville, Blairsville, and also Clayton. And those areas that had the calm winds over in West Georgia, those wind chills are pretty much similar to the actual temperature because the air is calm. We're not seeing as much of a wind there. Now, compared to this time last night, right now we are 17 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago. Look at Athens. You're 21 degrees cooler right now than it was at 9 o'clock last night. So it's much colder out there for today. Tomorrow it's going to be feeling better after we get past the morning hours. It is going to be another frigid start here early tomorrow morning with temperatures down to about 24 degrees. Even colder in the outlying areas. We're talking some lower 20s in some spots. But look how we warm during the day. We're going to have a lot of sunshine, whereas today we had that brisk northwest wind. It is going to shift briefly during the day tomorrow of a more southerly flow, and that's going to help those temperatures warm back up. We're getting it back up to about 52 degrees. Average high for this time of year is 54. So we're just going to be a couple of degrees below the average, and that's a lot nicer. Even though it's still below average, it's better than what we had today with our high that made it up to about 37, 38 degrees here in the afternoon hours. Now, we've got a couple of potentials for snow. The first one that we are watching is for Saturday morning. Here in Atlanta, we're going to have just general rain coming through, scattered showers early on Saturday. But this is going to be another one of those situations early Saturday morning where we're going to have to watch the North Georgia mountains for that potential for some of those flurries just in those highest elevations. And again, I think this would be in the morning hours here. I know this loop ends at 3 o'clock, but this would be mainly in the morning hours. And again, this snowfall accumulation map shows light amounts, and that lines up with those highest elevations through parts of Fannin County, into areas of Union and Towns counties, northern White, over there in parts of Rabun County, up in Clay County, North Carolina, where we would see a little better chance for some snow there. Still not a major deal. It's going to be a fast-moving system. Just don't be surprised for some flurries blowing around and maybe some minor accumulations in those highest elevations on grassy areas, but not a huge deal. It'll warm up above freezing during the day. So if it is anything, it'll just be brief. If anything collects, it would be gone by the latter part of the day here. Here's the general forecast track, where tonight, of course, we have the clear skies. Tomorrow, we have the really cold air in place. And then look what happens during the day. Still, it is going to be nice and sunny, but at noon, I want you to see these arrows coming out of the south and west. That's why we're going to have warmer temperatures here for Friday. So frigid start, but warming up through the day, warmer than it was out there for today. Middle of the afternoon, we're thinking it'll be in the lower 50s, so we're looking pretty good there. A couple of clouds building, though, over parts of North Georgia. Now, here's the next system we're watching, and this is what I'm talking about with that potential for snow on Saturday morning. Here's the system that's going to be coming in. Notice to the north and west, pushing in. This is at 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So really, Friday night, we'll start seeing this coming into northwest Georgia, and then moving through during the overnight hours. And for Metro Atlanta, it's going to be well above freezing, so it's going to be rain here that's going to be moving through. But we can watch in North Georgia in those highest elevations that I was pointing out earlier. And that's where we'll see the potential for some of that mixing to take place, most likely in the form of some snow that'll be coming through. But again, it's not going to last all night long or anything. This is 3 in the morning. The back edge moves on out. 5 o'clock in the morning, still some potential showers here in Atlanta, but that back edge moving away. And then on Saturday, we will start drying out. The sun will return. We'll have a few clouds mixing in the afternoon. And we're thinking we're going to get up to around 50 degrees again here during the day on Saturday. Then we have another reinforcing shot of cold air that's going to be moving in. I want you to notice by 11 o'clock, see these arrows shifting again. Instead of being out of the southwest, they're going to come out of the northwest. And that's going to usher in the colder air that we're going to be expecting here during the day on Sunday. And we're talking again, high temperatures only in the 30s on Sunday. Now here's the part that is interesting to a lot of people, and I'm going to be answering the questions that I'm getting from a lot of people about the snow chance coming in on Sunday morning. I know you're seeing a lot of things on social media, and the reason I know is because I see some of those things too. I have people asking me saying, hey, so-and-so says this, this, this. And I'm also looking at the models, and I see some of the crazy model data that's out there, but I choose not to post it because I don't think that's going to happen. And I'm familiar with a lot of the model consistencies and biases and how a lot of these models overreact with things sometimes. And then as we get closer to the event, it scales back. And that's what we're experiencing with this right now. So I'm going to show you some of those models and the differences and how those trends are looking right now, because that's my job as a meteorologist, not just to say, hey, here's this model, here's this model. I'm here to explain those things to you and let you know that we use those models as guidance and not as the gospel about what we think is going to happen. So this is the graph model. It is showing on Sunday morning the moisture staying way down to the south, maybe some snow in parts of South and Southeast Georgia and moving up along into South Carolina. This model is the one that keeps the moisture the farthest away from us here on Sunday morning. It also shows it moving out here later in the day on Sunday. Then we also look at the GFS model, which is the American model, and the European model. Let me show you the European model first. This is showing that better chance for snow, again, down in South Georgia and in parts of Southeast Georgia, and that snow not making it up to the Atlanta area. The European model is really a little bit more of a reliable model, and this model has been a little bit more consistent with keeping the snow farther down to the south. And it's been pretty consistent from run to run. It's been showing a pretty similar, pattern there. It'll shift a little bit and then shift back down, and the snow amounts aren't as much. And so this is the one that I have been putting most of my energy in and looking at and believing is what is most likely going to happen. Here is a look at the GFS model, or the American model. This is the model that's been showing a lot of crazy stuff that people have been sharing online. Not only showing a lot of snow, but also showing that snow covering up most of Georgia, including the metro Atlanta area. And what often happens with that GFS model, sometimes 2 weeks out, whatever, it'll start showing this crazy stuff and keep showing it. That's what people share online. And then usually what happens within a few days of the event, the GFS settles down and starts to become more in line with the other models. The GFS was like one of the outliers showing the crazy snow coming in, and the other models are being a little more realistic, being not as much snow and more to the south. But now the GFS is starting to settle down a little bit, and instead of showing snow over Atlanta like it was this morning and like it was last night with the model runs, now it's shifting the chance for snow a little bit more down to the south, and it's lowering the amounts of snow that we potentially could see. So I wanted to show you these comparisons. The European keeps it more to the south. The GFS brings it now, instead of over Atlanta, maybe into some of our southern areas, like into parts of Upson County, maybe a little bit of Pike County, a little bit over into Putnam County, and of course over into Augusta. So we've been watching these trends, and we will continue to watch these trends over the next 24 to 48 hours. It'll be interesting to see if the Euro keeps the snow to the south and if the American model, or GFS, keeps shifting it down to the south too. Now, I'm telling you all this now based on the trends that I've been seeing, but I will also tell you it is possible that that low could shift and move up more to the north. And if that happens, that would push these snow chances back up. But at this point, I'm just not thinking that's that realistic. So here's the European model. We'll kind of run through this instead of showing them to you side by side. This is for the rain Friday night and into Saturday morning, and that bit of snow over parts of northeast Georgia there, not a big deal. Then going into Sunday, again, this is the European model, showing that snow mainly down in southwest, south, and southeast Georgia, getting closer to the coast there early on Sunday morning, but it doesn't show the moisture making it up here into our area. It's going to be dry and cold here on Sunday morning. And then it pushes out, and we'll see dry weather for the first part of the week. This is, again, the GFS model with that first system for Saturday morning, showing rain here, a little bit of mixing up in parts of North Georgia, not a big deal. And then going into Sunday morning, showing that snow mainly down to the south of us, and south and east of us, and pushing away too, and not showing it here over the metro Atlanta area, and then it shows it pulling out as well. So in looking at all of these models, it's our job to look at them, use them as guidance, and to then come up with telling you what we think is going to happen. And this is a look at what we're seeing and our expectations. We'll be refining this map too, based on the models, showing the best chance for snow on Sunday morning is going to be more down in parts of central Georgia and also south Georgia. It may not be as far northward as Macon or Augusta, but it could be. But this is based on what we're seeing. We're just talking about the best chances for snow would be middle and south Georgia. A lower chance really north of Macon and in some of these south metro counties. Again, depending on any shifts there. And then the greatest uncertainty is really metro Atlanta northward, where we really don't think we're going to see any snow at all. And even with this, no area is even guaranteed to see any snow. So we're going to keep watching the model trends. We'll update this map tomorrow. We may shift it northward. We may shift it more down to the south. But this is just our best guess, if you want to call it that, or our best educated guess on those trends with the models of what we think is going to happen going into Saturday night and into Sunday morning. But it's going to be cold. We've got the cold air over us now. It'll warm a little bit on Friday and Saturday with temperatures in the lower 50s, and then there's the next surge of cold air diving down into our area here on Sunday and Sunday morning, bringing us another blast of cold air. And then it's going to stay cold for much of next week, where we talk about lows in the 20s, highs in the 40s here for a big part of next week too. Is that just these surges of cold air just keep pushing on in here, reinforcing all the cold that we're going to have around us. We think that by next Friday, we could get back up into the 50s though. So here's a look at the lows. We'll be at 24 in the morning, and then Saturday morning, 41. That'll be a milder start. And then lows back to the 20s Sunday, Monday, and also on Tuesday. Here's a look at the highs. Only 52, actually 52 for a high for Friday, 51 Saturday, and then 39 on Sunday, and back to those highs in the 40s going into Monday as well as on Tuesday. So here is that 7-day forecast, where we have that cold start here Friday, dry air, mostly sunny skies, 52 degrees. 41 Saturday morning with a high of 51. We have that chance for some showers early on Saturday. And then Sunday, still the big question mark, but we're beginning to get a little more confidence in that snow chance staying more down to the south of us. But we're keeping the snowflake on the map just in case that starts to surge northward a little bit. But again, highs only near 39. 24 Monday morning with a high of 46. And then look at that, 20s again Tuesday and Wednesday morning with highs in the 40s, but at least upper 40s here Wednesday. And then mid 50s on Thursday with mainly dry conditions. We do see about a 20% chance for an isolated shower coming up going into Thursday of next week. So I love doing these extended outlooks because it gives me an opportunity to explain everything that is going on. I get so many questions from folks on social media who just read headlines, or they'll just see somebody share a map. So this is just our opportunity to really explain to you what we see going on with a pretty complicated setup here. So we'll have more updates for you throughout the day tomorrow on 11 Alive News, as well as extended updates throughout the day here on 11 Alive Plus, and of course continuing to watch it through the weekend too. So thanks for watching this extended weather update. We'll have another update for you coming up tonight at 11 on 11 Alive News, and then of course again throughout the day tomorrow. Have a great night. Stay warm.